one of the really important things in manifesting is using that life force energy that you have. Now, there are certain things that can deplete this life force energy. And if you are regularly, consistently depleting that energy out of your body, it's going to be very hard to manifest and get the things that you want. So, if you think about that life force energy in terms of, think of it this way: when you feel good, you are embodying that life force energy that is there. You are in alignment with your true self, who it is that you truly are. And when you don't feel good, you're just a bit out of alignment. So things that can make you not feel good and that can really, and I'm going to show you, give you an actual practical exercise to show you, that can take away that life force energy is complaining. So when we complain about things, we deplete our body of that energy that is supposed to be there. So this happens when we complain just about things that are going on in our life. This happens when we complain about other people. This happens when we judge things. So anytime that we judge something, we are kind of saying no to it, right? We're looking at something and we're saying, I don't like that. And when we look at something and we say, I don't like that, it is depleting that life force energy that we have in there because we're putting up some resistance. We're saying no to something. I know you might say, like, well, yes, but these things that I'm judging are things that are bad. And I would beg you to look at it as perception, and that you really only recognize things in other people that you don't like about yourself. So when you really start working on self-love and self-acceptance, you'll notice that you just don't like that old judgment game anymore, that it really makes you feel not good, that you can hear it, you can see it when other people are doing it as well. It almost just makes you feel drained. So if you are feeling really good, like let's say right now, you think about something that you love, something that you really want to manifest, and you got really excited and felt really, really good about it. Now, let's say you got really good at that feeling, that you practiced it more and more, because that's what you need to do. So let's say that you practice that all the time and that you wake up in the day and you just think about whatever that thing is that brings you that good, excited feeling. Now, this could be the same thing over and over and over and over. Totally fine. It can be the same thing. Whatever it is that brings you that feeling of excitement and joy, just sit there and just think about it and just think about how it makes you feel. Now, when you're feeling really, really good, let's say that somebody comes up to you and they start complaining about something or somebody. It is quite difficult to not join in on that party, right? It's kind of naturally just something that we do. We want to connect with other people. So if they are having a bad experience, we want to jump right in there so that we can be there with them. But the thing that happens with that is you'll notice if you're feeling really great and somebody comes in and does that, all of a sudden that vital life force energy just starts to drain out of your body and it leaves you feeling really depleted. And so when you feel that way, you know you're not in alignment with who it is that you're supposed to be. So let me give you an example of this. So this is an actual practical exercise that you're going to do. If you have somebody there with you, do it with them because it's really cool. If you don't, you can do this with yourself. So if you had somebody there with you, you would press on their hands. So you'd both put your hands out and you're both just pressing your hands towards each other. Now you're not offering so much resistance that it's impossible and that it's a solid rock to move your hands, but you're both putting about equal pressure towards each other so that your hands are, stationary, but you're both pushing. Okay, now if you're doing this for yourself, just take your hands and just press them together. Okay, so now what I want you to do is you're just going to close your eyes. So if you're doing this with someone else, you're each taking turns doing this. So just one of you goes first, whoever's going first, you're the one pushing and the other person is the one just giving you that same amount of resistance that they're giving right now. Okay, so if you're by yourself, you more than likely are, you're going to take your hands, you're just going to press them together. Okay, now you're going to close your eyes. Now I want you to think really good thoughts about yourself and just keep pressing those hands together. So I want you to think about, oh, I'm so smart. I'm just such a good, kind, caring person. I'm just so awesome. Okay, now I want you to switch that thought to, actually, I kind of suck. Actually, I'm not really that great. People don't really like me. I'm not a very good person. Okay, stop. Now open your eyes back up again. So did you notice when you did that the second time, how that energy, that force, that pressure that you had been pressing your hands together with, when you started saying that negative thing, how it really just got kind of hard. Your arms kind of drain of energy. You can feel that depletion just coming in through your body. So thinking those negative thoughts, which is the same thing as complaining, and the same thing as judgment, depletes that life force energy that you have. So I have just shown you that there is it's immediate physical thing that comes up in your body, that depletion of energy that comes just from a negative thought. So if you have thought before, I remember a few years ago, I was like, okay, I saw something and I was like, let's just try, with me and my husband, let's just try to not complain about anything for like this certain amount of time. And you're like doing it and it feels good. But then of course you just forget about it and you go back into life and you just keep complaining about things. But when you see it this way and you realize that it is actually affecting your physical body, you can see that, wow, that must be significant. That negative thought, that negative energy that I'm putting out must really matter. So think in terms of that negative thought and what that feels like just in your body, how it really depletes you. Now imagine what that would do to your manifestations. It completely drains them of that good energy that you want to be in those manifestations so that they can come to you. It drains that energy out of those things and things will never manifest. So I'm going to give you a really cool example of something that I manifested, and this was all just from positive talk about somebody else. So I was working with a client and they live in the same city that one of my friends lives in. And I didn't know this. And so I said, oh, you need to go and see my friend's shop. She owns this shop. It is just totally amazing stuff. And I was, telling her about this for like a couple minutes. Like, you have to go to my friend's store. You will love it because, I know this lady and I know that she would like the stuff in her store. And so I get home after working with that client and I come home and on my kitchen counter is a present. There's a gift on there. And I'm like, what is this? So I open it up. It's wrapped in a couple different things. And it is a present from my friend from her shop. The woman that I was just telling my other friend about, of how amazing her shop is. So I'm like, well, that is pretty freaking cool that I'm just like talking about you, saying these wonderful things. And then all of a sudden I get this gift at my house. Now that would be cool, but it gets even better. So a couple days later, maybe it was a week. No, it was the same week. It was like a couple days later. So I'm coming back from the city. I had been at this presentation thing, geothermal. It was actually pretty interesting. And we're coming back and I'm talking to my husband and he starts talking about this person. And now this person, I know them and I like them. I've worked with them. And so I'm like, oh, I think they're just such a great and wonderful person. Exact same thing again. I'm really up talking this person. Guess what happens? I get home and there's a gift on my counter from this person. Now, what's even stranger about this is I wouldn't even really consider this person my friend. I really like them. I would consider them an acquaintance. I haven't spoken to them in 6 months or a year, but they just happened to come up. And I was talking really good about them, putting that good life force energy out there into the universe and directed at that person. And I come home to a gift from them. So, I don't get gifts at my house all the time, although I shouldn't have just said that because I'm going to from now on. But it just goes to show you that what you put out really does come back, and it comes back immediate because so that was an hour and a half. after I was talking about this person. And in the other situation, it probably wasn't even that. It was probably about half an hour. And it just came like that. So I'm going to tell you more about other manifestations that I've made, but I just want you to really consider this about the complaining and the negative thinking. So this is negative thoughts about yourself and about other people that really depletes and drains your energy. So something that you can do, if that is a problem for you, if you find yourself really negative talking yourself, like telling yourself, oh, that was stupid, doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to fail anyways, the usual jargon that people down talk themselves about. Very important not to do that. Very important not to do that. So next time that you have a thought like that that wants to come up, just ask yourself and just think about it for a second and just ask yourself and think, you know what, maybe that's not true. Maybe that's not true. And then just kind of switch it to something else, like, you know what, I'm trying my best. You know what, I've succeeded at a lot of things. And just kind of switch that thinking process, because that thinking process doesn't come up because it's true. So a belief is a thought that we continue to think. It doesn't mean it's true. Let me give you an example of that. So if you've ever met someone, and let's say that you met this person and they were, not very nice to you. And so you have this opinion of them and you're like, oh, what a horrible, terrible person that you're thinking about this person. Now, some time goes by, you meet this person again, and maybe they'd been in a bad mood the first time that you met them, but they are like wonderful. You guys get along so great, and you've changed your opinion. So you had a belief and you saw something new, and so you changed that belief. Now, was the belief correct the first time? Was the belief correct the second time? It's just a belief. So it's really not about that. It's about your belief system, and is this benefiting me or is it not? You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if you're thinking a negative thought, notice how that feels in your body. It doesn't feel like freedom. If you think a positive thought, like, you know what, I am limitless, I'm deserving, I'm worthy of a lot of good things, that feels like freedom. So resonate that good feeling, that freedom feeling, with the truth. So if there's something that you can take from this, it's just next time, if you find yourself even in thought going to judge somebody else for something, no matter what it is, or if you find that negative thinking coming up, just stop yourself and just switch it to, you know what, I'm doing a really good job. You know what? I don't know that person's situation. You know what? And just kind of talk yourself around and out of that type of habitual negative thinking, because it's depleting your manifestations and you don't want that. So guys, I hope you guys have a really good day. And it's been great chatting with you. Leave a comment below if there's something that you would like to ask about this process.